Hi, it's Bob with EZestimater. I want to go through some of the how you as a contractor can improve your sales game. You know as well that you go out on a lot of bids and that you don't get the jobs. Well, that's normal, but you can reduce the amount by pre-qualifying your clients. And what do we mean by pre-qualifying? Well, you can increase the closing rate by going on pre-qualified leads. Now, people call you up. If you're a general contractor and you're paying for the leads, because no matter what you do, you're going to be paying for them, whether you get them from Angie's list or you get them from advertising, SEO or anything, you're paying for those leads. While you're going on unqualified leads, another contractor is signing a contract with a qualified lead. Do you want to waste your time going on those type of leads? You can improve your closing rate by pre-qualifying your clients. Now, I'll have another video on that. That's a whole different subject. But you need to know whether your client is ready, willing, and able. What I mean by ready, does he want to do the job or project now or in the future? Is he willing to pay a reasonable price? And is he able to pay for it? Now, for most specialty contractors, plumbers, roofers, electricians, when a customer calls you up, he has a problem, whether it be a leaking water heater or goes out, or he's got a roof leaking and he knows he has to replace his roof, or they have some power outages on their house. That's not something that they're going to wait to get fixed. So if you go out there, you got a better chance of closing that because they really need it done right away. But at the same time, if they do have an ability to wait, nobody wants to overpay for it. So you need to be at your best game when you're selling. Whether you're a general contractor or you're a specialty contractor, you want to have your best game going. That's what we're going to talk about on this channel. I've got many more videos that we're going to talk about that will help you increase your sales. As a general contractor, and I know a lot of them because I am a general and I've hired some to work for me, most of them are not good at sales, but they're good at their trades, probably better than me. But their sales is not good at all because that's not what they've been trained in. And I'm hoping that this channel will help you to increase your sales by making you better in that game. A lot of the sales depends on you closing the deal when you get to the customer's place of house or property. You need to sell yourself and you need to walk out with a contract, because when you leave without a contract, you've lost 50% of your chance of selling that deal. Now, most customers will want to get estimates. Unless they really need to get the work done. For general contractors, we bid bigger jobs, 100,000, 200, 300,000. They're not going to make a decision on the spot unless you can really sell them. So that's really important that you pre-qualify your clients and make sure they're willing to make that commitment when you get there. Now, it's important for generals, if you're talking to a married couple, that both parties are there, because I guarantee you the man is probably not going to make the decision by himself. Now, when you're talking about something like a specialty contractor, service repair, you don't need to have the wife there, because the husband is usually going to make the decision. We need a new water heater. Do we need a new service panel? Things that they don't really care about. They care about their home, the place they live in, how they're going to expand it, how they're going to remodel it. So that you got to make sure that you have both parties there. And if you can't assure that, you're probably going to end up having a client tell you, well, I need to talk to my wife. That's why you want to have both parties there. If they say, well, my wife isn't going to be home till late, then why don't we make it at a time when your wife will be home? Because I myself personally, we do 3D designs on the laptop using Chief Architect. And I'm going to go into that on another video on how to do that and how to sell a room addition, ADU, or anything else without having plans. It's really important that you're able to come up with a product and estimate that you're able to give it to them on the spot. If you don't sell the job when you're there, I guarantee you that your chances are not only they go down by 50%, that another contractor, and it could be a plumber or electrician, will come in with a lowball price. Someone who's hungrier than you and who's a better salesman. He may not be a better contractor, but he closes the deal and you didn't. So you need to be able to close it when you meet them. Don't give them an opportunity to get other bids. Now, I'm going to go through the 6 items that you need to become a better salesman. A detailed estimate to present to the customer. It's important that you have a way to give quick, professional, and accurate estimates. If you don't have one, you can download EZestimater app from our EZestimater.com website for iOS or Android onto your phone or tablet. And I do have training videos on this channel on how to set it up. Once you set it up, you don't have to set it up again. You put in the material pricing, the labor pricing, and you'll be all set. So you need to be able to have a product to try to sell to your client, and that is the estimate. If you're a specialty contractor with the EZestimater app, you're able to bid it right on the spot. You can have them digitally sign your estimate right on your phone, and you can email it to them, or you can print it out if you have a portable printer. It's important that you do have something to sell. I've been on a couple bids just recently, but I just started bidding again. I've been bidding for over 25 years. And lately I've been running jobs, so I haven't been bidding. I want to start doing some room addition bids, and we just started using the EZestimater app because I've been using my software for so many years. And this app is great. I love it. I won't go back to the software because this has so many features. It's so convenient. I could use it on a tablet. You'd think it would be easier, but it's actually easy on the phone. I could slip my EZestimater app that's on my phone right in my back pocket, and I could walk around, look and see if I miss anything. I could bid it right off the phone. It's great. So one of the first things you need to do is be able to give a quick, easy accurate estimate to your customer. You want something that looks professional, that they'll look at it and they can easily understand it. And you want to spend your time selling, not spend your time bidding. Getting back to what I was saying before, I just started bidding again and trying to close a couple deals. Well, what happened, because I just started using the app, I've had some trouble setting it up to work with my printer. And they have Wi-Fi Direct, which you can go from your phone directly to your printer without having Wi-Fi. And I thought I had it set up, and when I went on my last bid, it wasn't working, and I was having some problems. I spent 45 minutes trying to get that out. I finally asked the customer if I could borrow their Wi-Fi. I did, and I was able to print it out easily. But that 45 minutes should have been the time I spent selling the job and not trying to print it out. That really ruins your selling. So you need to come up with a process where you can do it quickly. Now I have it set up on Wi-Fi Direct. I do the bids before I even get to them for a room addition or an ADU. So I don't need to have plans or anything else. And we're going to do a whole new video on that. How to do takeoffs, how to do the design, and how to do the bid. When you get to the client's home or place of business or their property, you'll be able to spend your time selling rather than bidding. Time is valuable. And as a contractor, if you're a working contractor and you're doing the work, do you have time to go meet a client, get back, do drawings, or try to talk them into plans rather than giving them a bid? You don't. That's why I win a lot of my bids by default, because the other contractors never get back to them. With the EZestimater app, you'll be able to get the bid done right away. You'll win more jobs. You won't have to go out as many leads. The next thing, you got to get an estimate completed in a reasonable amount of time. A reasonable amount of time is usually within a day or so or less. Like I said, I do my bids the same day that I meet with them. I've sold a $300,000 ADU 2-story project in the city of LA on the first day I met with the client. Now, how did I do that? Well, we'll go through a whole video on that, but it's easily done. And I've sold quite a few jobs on the first day I meet with them. And if you're still doing the old school, well, I need a set of plans, then you're selling plans, and that's the last thing you want to do is sell plans. Because if you sell plans, that means the client, by the time the plans are done and they have it in their hand, guess what? Now they can get many contractors to bid it, because most contractors can't bid without plans. I'm going to show you how you can do it so you don't give them opportunity to get plans. And I am so confident on the way we do work. We even have a low price guarantee up to the time we start the job. But if you're a good contractor, you're following up with your customers, you're very professional, guess what? They're not going to go out and get other bids because they feel comfortable with you. That's a really important part of the process. Good rapport with customers, you need to sell yourself first. If they feel comfortable with you, whether you're selling a water heater or a room addition, you're going to be working in their home or at their home. They want to feel comfortable. If they have a problem, they can talk to you about it. They can ask you questions. They want someone who they feel very comfortable, especially if you're selling a $100,000 job like a room addition. They want to know that, hey, I like this guy. You know, he may be a little bit more than the other guy, but I like him. And I hear that all the time from clients. They go, I always, before I go out, have you if have you received any other bids from contractors? Yeah, I've received a couple. I go, okay, were they pretty good or? Well, I mean, the bids were okay, but I really didn't like the contract. That's important. They have to like you. Customers like you if you're like them. What does that mean? Well, the more you have in common with them, the more they're going to like you. We'll go through a whole video on that, but just some short things like if you go to a client's house and you see some golfing paraphernalia, or you see they have kids or a boat, all those things are open to questions to the client. Hey, I see you have a boat. Where do you go boating at? And the client goes, oh, yeah, we go to Parker. I go, I go to Parker too. Where do you guys stay? And all of a sudden we have something in common. And now they feel comfortable. I'm like a friend more than just a contractor. Or they have kids. They're playing soccer. Where do they play? My kids play over in Los Alamitos area. How do you like it? And then all of a sudden you start talking about other things other than just the construction. That's building rapport with a customer. Now, if you were bidding this job, you're going to go down there, you're going to do takeoffs, you're going to measurements, you're going to talk to them. You're not going to have much time to do anything else. You're going to go home, you're going to prepare a bid, then you're going to come back, you're going to spend time doing the bid with them. You don't have time for rapport. You need a way that you can bid it quickly and accurately and professionally. And that's where the EZestimater comes in. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use EZestimater. I'm just giving you that option that it is exactly what I use, and it helps me to close the jobs. Using the original software over 20 years, I've closed a lot of jobs over most contractors. And it's because of the presentation. Everything I'm going to be telling you today, plus more, is what helps you close the jobs. Another thing you got to do is offer value in your estimate. What do I mean by value? Well, a value is anything that you can offer the customer that the other contractors don't. It could be good advice. Maybe they want to add this addition here. Now, realize that the homeowner has lived in that home many years, or even, a couple years, but they already have envisioned what they want and where they want it and how they'll use it. You don't want to come in and reinvent the wheel. And I hear a lot of contractors doing that, and that gets customers mad. Maybe they want to add a family room here, and the estimator comes back and says, oh, no, that's not a good idea. You should put it here. Why would you want to reinvent the wheel? They already know what they want. They have more of an ability to know where they want to put their addition than you do. They live there. They know their lifestyle. You don't. But don't try to reinvent the wheel unless it's something that they definitely can't do, won't be approved. Go with their idea. Maybe improve it. Maybe add a patio, or maybe extend it another way. For instance, I had a client who wanted to add a bedroom. So most of the time they add bedrooms, they want them in the same location as the other bedrooms. Well, there was only one way to do it. It was going to be behind another bedroom. So in order to do another bedroom behind another bedroom, you have to have a hallway. So that means you got to cut through the bedroom and reduce the size of the existing bedroom just for a hallway. And if you've ever seen bedrooms in this location, it's in Whittier, California. The bedrooms are small anyway. They're not much bigger than 10 by 10 or 10 by 11. Reduce it to about 8 feet. That's a problem. So I looked at it and I thought, you know what? Let's do the hallway outside of the bedroom off of the living room. But the new bedroom will still be behind the old bedroom and it'll still work. And I put the design together. He loved it. That's what he ended up doing. So that's giving value to your customer. Come up with a better idea of doing the same thing. If you can save them money on it or give them advice on products, that's giving value. Anything you can do to give value makes you stand out from the other contractors or estimators that have gone out there. Most of them just want to bid the job. And then a lot of them, and I hear this on a lot of estimating software or apps that I see on the internet. They're promoting, oh, you can email your bid right to your client. And if you're a service provider, like a roofer or a plumber or and especially a general contractor, you don't want to email your bid to your client unless you already sold it. That's a sure way of getting it put in the round file or the trash. We do large jobs, $100,000 jobs, plus $200,000 to $300,000. Your email is not going to sell the job. You are. They're buying you. They feel confident in you. You have the report with them, not the email. So the only way you should email is if you're at the site and you don't have your printer and they agree to sign it, email it to them. They'll print it out and they can sign it right then and there. But you don't want to go back, well, I'll go back to the office and I'll go ahead and email it. I had one of my estimators do that. And I've done it before when I first got into business. I've never signed a job on a contract that was emailed. Doesn't work. You need to sell yourself. And you can't sell yourself over an email. And I guarantee you the email won't sell it for you neither. Creating urgency in your presentation. Now, for service providers, which EZestimater app is great for, as well as general contractors. Unless there's an urgency that's already created by the situation, the customer's water heater went out, you need to create that urgency. Even if their water heater went out, they figure they get at least 2 or 3 bids that day. You don't want them to get other bids. More likely, you get someone that's going to lowball it and you don't get the job. And then they hit them up with extra work orders. So you want to try to sell it. So don't leave without getting a signature. At least try. Ask for the sale. So creating an urgency could be by adding something in there of value to them. So you know what? I see that this water heater, your water heater is bad. And I also see that you've got a leaky gas valve. So what I'm going to do is that would be an additional amount. I'm going to go ahead and replace it for the same amount. I'm offering that for free. So when you give them the offer, you give them the water heater, everything except the main gas valve. And say, you know, I didn't include the gas valve. I have to charge you for that if it's an extra. But I'll tell you what, if you make the decision today, I'm going to include that for free. Now, we do that for room additions, and it's called a sweetener. It just makes it that much more important. You have to attach a date line to it. You have to tell them this is good up until the time I leave, or you have 2 days. And then, we'll offer this to you for the next 2 days. You try to get them to sign that day, though. I would say, I think I had one lady out of probably maybe out of probably 1% they don't like that because we're creating an urgency. And that may not be someone you want to work for. But I'll tell you, 99% do like it. And you got to stick by it. Because I had a client who I offered to do, I think it was a bay window. And of course, you put the money in there. And then you offer it to them, and that money is going to be used for it, so you don't have to come out of your pocket. So you want to have a little bit extra in there for something that's unforeseen, or if you're offering a bay window. At the time, they were running about $800, including installation. So I had an extra $800 in there, and I could use it for unforeseens or anything else, but I used it to try to close it. She would not close, even offering the bay window. And you know what? I think about, it might have been a month and a half later. And I think it had to do with their financing and trying to get a loan. But even that shouldn't stop you, because you can put sign a contract contingent on their loan. But she wanted to go with me. She goes, can I still get that bay window? I said, no, that was at the time I offered it to you, but here's what I'll do is I'll give you a discount on the labor. So I got the job. As long as you give them something, they're happy. But that's really important, that you have that you have some type of urgency in there. Otherwise, they could take 2 or 3 months, and you pre-qualify them and see how urgent it is for them to do the work. If, well, I'm just trying to get estimates, I don't want to do the work for another till next year, I won't waste my time on putting a bid together. Even though I could bid it quickly, I know that by next year something could happen in their life. Maybe they were going to add a bedroom, and the kid that their son or daughter that were going to move in, they decided against it, or job situation changed. Anything can change in 3 to 6 months. So you want someone who's going to make a decision right away. Once they made the decision, they go through it. Even if the situation changed, they're usually going to go through it. They don't usually halt it in the middle, especially after they paid for plans. And I do charge them for plans. Usually, as soon as we get a preliminary plan, I'll charge them for it. So that's important, that you create the urgency. And the last thing, which goes in with creating the urgency, is asking for the sale. You need to ask for the sale at the time you're there, because your chances of getting the sale go down 50% when you leave. So ask for the sale. Now, you don't need to be direct, say, well, are you ready to sign a contract today? That's not good. That creates too much emotional urgency on them, when you can just say, are we ready to go forward? Is there anything from keeping us from going forward? And then we have a few things I'm going to go through with you that will overcome the objections. I have a whole video just on overcoming their objections. But this video, I want to cover a little bit of everything. All the points I talked about is a detailed estimate to present to the customer. You can do that if you have software. If you don't, EZestimater.com. Download the app for free. There is some in-app features which we've gone through before, and we'll be going through it. It actually can bring in material from the Home Depot directly when you create your codes, and it updates every week. So your material will always be updated. an estimate completed in a reasonable amount of time. Now, if you have software that can do that, but if you have it on a computer, that's not going to be reasonable. That's going to take you a while, because if you're at the job site, and if it's a small job like a water heater and you have to go back and bid it at home and come back again, by that time someone's already signed the job. You want to be able to bid it before you leave. You can do it right on the EZestimater app, as long as you set up everything ahead of time. You need to have good rapport with the customer. You need to sell yourself. You have to offer value in your estimates. You have to create an urgency for them to make the decision, and you need to ask for the sale. Okay, so we'll go on. Another video will be coming up. We'd like you to go ahead and look for us on this channel, and we'll give you more advice on some of the items I talked to you about today. Thanks a lot.